No more speculations.
Villex got your back.
With smarter living. The Villex Smart Meter Project puts power in your hands, delivering faster data collection, consistent billing periods, and better service you can count on.
Villex got your back.
With smarter living. Smarter metering for 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 smarter living.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And we're back with you with more Activated Mornings here on WEFM. Time for an SPG, it is 8:16. And in studio, it is Dianna, Cain, Nicole, Joseph Chin, and myself, Roleza Samuel. We're supposed to be joined by our fourth co-host this morning, but I haven't seen him arrive as yet. So I'm hoping that that situation happened with him the last time.
Oh yes.
I hope his phone did not reset the time. But Doc, if you happen to be listening, the time is 8:16. All right, not 9. Well, no, not 7:16. It is 8:16. So we would see if Doc comes in this morning. All righty, so let's head into another topic, right? And Life somewhat alluded to it in his commentary in reference to an article on Eyewitness News that, words stated by Mr. Mike Brown, former ULP Minister of Government, all right? So contained in that, and that article is titled, former ULP MP Mike Brown says he wouldn't vote this election. Now, contained in that article, he raised an issue of election financing. He said, when I ran in 2001, 2005, to run an election, 10 million, 15 million, I can't tell you exactly because we never knew how much the party leader and the top leadership was collected and from when. Right? He, however, said it would cost tens of millions of dollars, serious money, to run the election campaign over the next 2 weeks. And in question, I post to you in closing. So he's raising the point of monies for financing elections. He says, Brown said the editorial alluded to all kinds of sources, saying it could even be drug money. All right, this is interesting information. Not just to know, but to also say, all right? But those are Brown's words. The ordinary people cannot finance these elections. The workers who catch in their tail to buy food. And these days, if you get sick, that could be a death sentence in St. Vincent. So the working people under pressure financially, them can't find them tens of millions of dollars. So who financing them? The former MP said, adding that this is a question that voters have to wonder or ponder on. And indeed, we have been wondering about this. Well, maybe some more openly than others, right? But there has been a significant amount of money spent on this election season. And, in the past, one of the things that we used to look at and say is the NDP doesn't have the kind of money that the ULP has. But from looking at things and looking at how things are going for this election season, they do seem to be on par. And part of me wonders, and the question for this segment is, money is used to finance political campaigns. Could they be better spent? Now, I recognize that, yes, billboards and posters are things that we are accustomed to seeing. We're also accustomed to seeing jerseys and T-shirts, etc., being given out, and, other little paraphernalia. But what it is that took me by surprise, I don't know if it happened last election, but it's the first time that I was seeing it, right, is these bags of goodies. In terms of persons would get a bag, and contained in the bag would be different things. So even last night in somebody, sometimes we do the unboxing thing, but it's an unbagging thing. So in unbagging yesterday, so last night I saw somebody, they got 2 shirts, tights, because it's a woman, a leggings or a tights. What has she got? I remember in another video, somebody had a fan, they had a rain cover, and a bunch of stuff is given out in these packages. And it was the first time that I'm seeing it, because normally, you would expect to see these. Like if you go to, let's say, you're playing carnival and you are in a mass band, you would tend to see these type of goodies or extras being given at that time. But in this election, that is what has been happening, right? We see the type of print that is being done, especially on the NDP side, the kind of printed shirts that they have. So we recognize a lot of money is being spent. Life also spoke about this morning about the artists who are being brought in, and most of them are Jamaican artists. Now, it's not to say that our local artists have not been performing on stages at the rallies, but that's a question that I have for Life, but I'll take it up with him tomorrow with that. In that monies are being spent, and as somebody said recently, it looking like it's a Sting clash. You know, the Jamaican show Sting. It almost seems as if it's a Sting clash that is happening, because when one party brings in a particular artist, another party tops it with either a better or a similar artist of on the same ratings level, right? So we see that a lot of money is being spent. Now, while it is that I understand that, especially on the NDP side, they have to seem as if they are matching what is being done by the ULP, especially in terms of the rallies, the size of the rallies, the type of performances. Part of me really and truly had to think about this last night and said, the monies that the NDP in particular has found for this rally, or for this election season, not the rally, for this election season, I would have loved to see wherever it is that they got their financing to run the campaign, that they had some of this money set aside to do actual things in the constituencies, because many of us are always saying, okay, so yes, you may not get money from the constituency fund. And many of them also claim to say that they need money to be able to help to run these constituencies. But in different ways, they could have found different things to do within their constituency that either they could have galvanized monies from whoever, or done different measures. And I think, to me, seeing this money that is being spent now by the NDP, they have been able to find the money to run this campaign. I would have loved to see some of this money spent at least over the last 5 years in the constituency, to prove to persons, or to demonstrate to persons that they're actually serious about whatever it is that they say they want to do within their constituencies to help their people. So that was just part of my thoughts with regards to this conversation.
See, this is why I don't accept we don't have any money excuse from politicians, when they have things to do, because in election season, like we're seeing now, we're seeing a lot of money and nobody is being charged to go to these rallies. So you're not making money from ticket sales. Nobody is being charged for the jerseys. Nobody is being charged for these things. You have numerous posters to stick up that people tear down all the time, though they're not supposed to, and it will eventually be torn down after elections, because after elections, who really, is looking at these? Some people think billboards are a must and it's necessary, but I mean, you're seeing their faces everywhere else. You're seeing them on the flyers that they already have. You're seeing them on jerseys. You're seeing them on social media. You're seeing them on your television. You're seeing them in real life. So do you really have to put up a billboard with the politicians' faces? I was talking about the heat in the classrooms, and how it would be nice if persons can donate a little fan to the classrooms. We all are talking about how hot the place is getting, but apparently nobody had money to give the little children some fan in the classroom so they could have a little ease and be a little comfortable in this climate. But hey, such is life. I do believe that the politicians could spend their money better.
Okay, so not so much the politicians, but the party. And in this case, it's
the party.
Right. And in this case, we know that the government spends money because it's government funds, right?
Right.
But in the case of NDP, because they are a party and they are trying to get into office, there needed to be that demonstration of, okay, even let's say somebody's private property that they've renovated and they've allocated, let's say as a quote unquote, their community center, right? They're just using community center loosely. it could show to the constituents that it means that, okay, so we're organizing activities, we're organizing classes, we're organizing this, or we're organizing that. I think the NDP needed to show, because as many persons are saying, we're just seeing and hearing plans, right? But what have many of them actually done to demonstrate that this is why you should be voted into office? Mm-hmm. But we find that they've been able to find all of this money for this election season. And mind you, I totally understand and I totally get it why they have to go wrong for wrong, pong for pong with the ULP. I totally get it, because we also are going to have to look at the optics of things. We don't want for it to look at it as is a case where they cannot match up, or they're not able to draw the type of crowds that the ULP is drawing or have been known to draw over the past election cycles. But I think to give them that extra edge, whoever financing it or wherever it is the money coming from, and I think this is also what we as citizens should know. Should it actually be declared where it is that these parties get their finances from? Because running these campaigns could not have possibly been cheap. Not when everybody having, and the funny thing for me is that you're seeing some of the same people attending both party events, right? Mm-hmm. So Idonia was at one event, Massacre going to be at another event. These same people wearing whichever event going on, they wearing shirts of the different parties, right? We don't round them because in a sense we getting a free show, right? Even me right about now, though it is that I'm looking at it virtually, it's a free show that we're getting. And I don't necessarily have a problem with the artists who they're bringing in, but the optics of things is also something that we have to question. And the other part of it is that should there be some sort of declaration in terms of where these finances are coming from? So, yeah. All right, Nicole, how was it generally in Trinidad?
People will tell you flat, I went for the jersey. I went for the things. I went for the umbrella. I went for the transportation. I went for the food. Cost is so important. And for me, my biggest thing is always healthcare and food security. All again impacted by where we are, who we are, where we sit geographically. And so my thing is, why isn't some of this deeply invested in where we can actually feel that impact? Where can we actually sense that, okay, I have something that will last me for 5 years, 10 years, beyond the timeline of an election cycle. So for me, I'm always very concerned that, first of all, there's such a high cost incurred. I mean, it's global, that's the thing. It's all around the world. Just culturally, we tweak it a little bit. As Life said, because I only got in a little bit of his commentary, but we can invest in local entertainment, local creativity. And I understand the other stigmas, because we talk about that already, that are aligned to those kinds of arrangements. But there's a lot of, as the French will say, gaspillage, which means wastage, that, can really be placed and filtered into more sustainable living. And sustainable living meaning investing in one's longevity as humans for way beyond the cycle of an electoral act that will, again, sometimes outlive us.
Okay. All right. We have a caller. Morning, Queens. I believe it's Queens. Morning again.
Hello?
Hi. Yeah. Go ahead, Queens.
It could be big businesses that supporting both parties. These are big businesses, Sanders. I'm not saying Sanders is, but big companies that presently exist in St. Vincent, and those who are hoping to come to St. Vincent after the election. I think that in the United States, big companies support both parties, Democrat and Republic. So you have a business given to both parties. Whoever wins, the businessman still wins. You're going to get whatever, the tax breaks, whatever. So the thing is that's where it's coming from, the big businesses.
Yeah, but you see, my
Have
whole thing,
interest.
my whole thing is that yes, I can understand big businesses are wherever the finance is coming from, right? But I don't want to see the finances just happening at the time for the campaign itself, right? These same big businesses should be able to give them money beforehand so that they could do work within their constituency, because the opposition in particular needs to get that extra push.
They need to get extra push. Well, the government don't, present government don't want opposition to get big push.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. So whoever it is financing, in this case, the NDP for their campaign, the tens of millions of dollars that we see being spent for their campaign, at least give them some of that money, especially as you're approaching the year of the election, so that they could get things done. So when it turns out, they could say, well, you know what? We have been able to do such and such within the communities or within the constituencies. Not seeing this stream load or this set of money now that it's election season just for the campaign itself. You catch?
But like I said, they could have same big businesses supporting both NDP and ULP now. So whoever wins, big business win.
All right.
It don't mean that one set of necessarily one set of business supporting ULP and one set of, it could be, but it's not necessarily. Both business could be supporting both of them. That they're gonna win still.
Okay.
So listen, whoever's in power, it doesn't matter whoever's in power. Vera, Graves, and Bonady, they're still gonna be millionaire, multi-millionaire, no matter who's in power.
All right,
so both of them give money to the both parties. Both of them still win at the end. Have a good day.
All right, thanks. All right, so we see that someone else is calling. Hi, Jeff. Morning.
Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Nicole. Yes, I have made this statement on this radio station before that both parties they get funding. They get funding from wherever sources. I've always said, especially opposition side, I don't see, and they always complain they don't have the money. And like you advocate, why don't they get help to do something in their communities? I should believe that wholeheartedly, because on the NDP side, or opposition side, maybe anywhere in the country or in the world, they always promise, oh, we can do this and that only, and they use the word only if we get into power. But before you get into power, I remember one time Mr. Houston said he can bring 20,000 jobs only if he could get into power. Why did he not bring some of those jobs before? So the people can see, well, this is what they're doing. They're out of power, but they can do this. Could you imagine what they will do when they get in power? And you said it right. Money should be going into the community to help the people. They're getting the money. Both parties are getting the money. But like the government side, they're getting it. But at least you see they're in power. So they're already doing things. So you already noticed that. But the opposition, like you said, they get thousands of dollars. But yet they're complaining they cannot do anything. The money's spent on a campaign. Like you said, it could be done in the community. So they happen all over the world. Like Queen just said, if up here they funded the same way and they make promises and everything. But opposition always, they should be able to get money to fund their community instead of use it all on campaign. And they can't say they don't have the money. They do. They do get the funding. And that money should be spent somewhere. So at least the people can see for themselves what they're doing this. They're doing a road, they're building something, they're helping someone. So could you imagine if they get in power, what they can do? Let's give them a chance, but they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're not doing that.
Yeah.
But
Well, I know they won't be able to touch infrastructure things because I doubt the government would allow them, like for roads and so forth. But other things,
they can help other people.
Yeah.
Yes, other people they can do. So when they say they don't have the money, I'm hearing something I know how it is that the opposition people now they all drive brand new vehicles. I don't know if that is true. I heard that last week from a radio station host that they all have a brand new vehicle. If that is true, where's that money coming from? They're taking care of themselves, but not the people who decide that they want to help. You know, so they all do it everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
If somebody suggests.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
All right. We're going to take our final call for this segment. Dave, morning. Dave.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Interesting at this 11th hour to hear the debate that is taking place. And I've complained, I've said it loud and clear, whether you love me or you hate, or you hate me through politics, I have come to understand the impact of politics on small nations like ours. Those who could tell more lies, those who have more money to spend, and that's all, will always have that influence. I mean, quite a lot of things have been coming up, and over the years, like the Jamaican influence, for instance, I have always questioned that. Foreign artists, and most in the Caribbean, Jamaica always seemed to have the artists for other countries in the Caribbean to invite to their political campaign and that sort of thing. The thing is, I have said that the legacy of slavery and colonialism, has left us with permanent brain damage. But not many people understand what that means, what I'm saying. But so those who are, like I said before, who can tell more lies and give away this and give away that, pig in a bag and all them dotishness, and I am happy that I've been around to hear, some of the same old things still being done or repeated. Where is the mindset? It reflects on our mindset as a people, how we think, or what impacts us, what we love. And that can also be determined on the kind of person, whether you're a good person or a bad person, or someone that the society as a whole looks up to. And all of that makes a difference and so on. So I'm not caught up in this cheap politics because a lot of us get carried away. A lot of us get carried away during the season. Some of us sell ourselves cheap and have no value. So somebody has to speak on that. Somebody. That's why I try to be objective in all of this. I don't lose my focus. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too, Dave. All right, but one thing that Dave said, people who they give away this and give away that, don't even study that because people once given, they will accept. So that doesn't even indicate whether or not they're actually going to vote for any of these parties, especially when you look at these events that are happening. People go in, once they get a shot and an event's happening, they go into it, all right? But it's not an indication of who it is they're going to vote for. We always know Vincentians love a nice time, right? And if it's free, even better. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello, pleasant. Good morning.
Morning.
You guys?
We good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just giving a little piece. I don't got much to say, but what I was saying, I heard Friday them talk about the money that they pick up already, and they pass out the money to the people them to other district in other areas or whatsoever. And it's like what I'm saying, the government itself to do for them big going on. At the same time, to win for the opposition side to win too, they have to save up money that they can get for spend for do as much as, not as much that where the government doing, but they still have to save money to complete with the, understand? So everybody got to do what they got to do. I mean, when they go in there, if God help them, they get for go in there and then I perform. Same like how they perform for win. They'll get thrown back the same way in another 5 years. 5 years come quick. So I ain't gonna cry upon them whatsoever they save to put in car. Nobody give them. You understand? They have to fight to put in their own money and do what they can do to election.
So you're holding the position of okay, they save up the money for the campaign season, and if they get into office, the merit or the proof of their worth would be when they are in office. That's how you're viewing it?
That's how I view it when they get into office.
All right, fair enough.
They have to do the best they can. If they not do the best they can, you come out back just like how you go in. Simple.
Okay. I mean, I could take your point. There are different ways to look at this discussion, so I can take that point. But I suppose for somebody like me, I want to see a demonstration of effort before even considering you.
Yeah, but what am I do? They do whatsoever money they pick up at the time. No.
All right. Okay.
If we election, they have to save money to run their campaign. They ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get it from the other side. So they have to save some for run their campaign.
Okay. I hear you, Pompey. I hear you. I'm not going to dispute you because I see where you're coming from. So no problem. All right. Have a good one.
All right. You guys too.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. And with that, we are going to head on out of this segment. I see that somebody was calling, but let's try to take that up in the next segment. All right. So we are heading on out.